Congratulations, because as of right now, you have officially finished your financial forecast, and we are moving on to startup costs. So if you haven't finished your forecast and need to sort of rethink your concept a little bit, now is the time to do so. Do not rush through this. This is super important. Make sure that you do this properly and make sure that your numbers are correct. If you have any questions, send me over your forecast. I will be happy to look through it, make sure there aren't any holes, and make sure that you are set to move forward because we want to see you succeed. So if you haven't done that, do that. And now we are talking about startup costs, and startup costs are extremely important, and you must make sure that you identify all your startup costs to close to the exact number, and make sure that you exaggerate a little bit so you're at least prepared. So for those of you who are starting a business even from home, okay, there's lots of startup costs that you're going to need to have. You're going to need to figure out what email you're going to be using, what CRM, what sort of program, payment processing programs you're going to be using. You're going to need technology. A lot of things go into starting a business. You're not just going to start one with what you have. So make sure that you really identify what's going to go on, and I want you to open up your spreadsheet from last time, and from expenses, create a new little tab down there at the bottom called Startup. Okay? So we're going to create that and just copy along what I have done here. I've outlined it a little bit so I can speak a little bit more and not follow through. So we're going to put in account, amount, and notes, very important. And we are also going to put in just these basic ones. Now, there are going to be different startup costs for different things. If you need a location, if you're purchasing a location, it's not going to be rent. It's going to be the purchase price. And there are going to be some capital improvements. Maybe if you're at home, you don't need capital improvements, but if you're going into a building, you are going to have to make space for capital improvements. FF&E is just furniture, fixture, and expenses. So if you do have a location, you're going to need some equipment, you're going to need some furniture and fixtures, so make sure that you put some room for that and really do your homework. Start out lean at the beginning. You don't need the best things. You can find a lot of equipment and furniture used, and do so. You don't have to start off like Bill Gates. You don't have to have a $50,000 desk. Start off very simply and work up from there. Legal, just to review documents early on, make sure that you are not breaking the law, which is very important. Consulting I threw in here. I find it very important to hire a consultant at the beginning stages to make sure that you're doing things properly. So find someone out there who can help you through this process. Could be a mentor that you currently have, or it could be a company that you go out and find. But make sure that you're doing the right things and you're not falling into some mistakes. And hiring someone for consulting, it doesn't have to be very expensive, guys, but just make room for it. Make sure that you have all your dots, all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. Make sure that you know exactly what's going to be happening. Then your website. Everyone's going to have a website. This is going to include social media, opening inventory. For those of you who have a space, who are selling a product, you're going to have to buy those products up front. So you need to make room for opening inventory. And marketing to launch your business. Very important to put lots of money into marketing at the beginning stages. Make sure that you get your name out there, you get loud. There's a lot of free ways to market your business, but also you want to be paying for marketing as well. Very important. And then at the very last, we want to make room for working capital. Okay, so follow that in. You can implement it with a number of different numbers, but I kind of want to talk right now about selecting the right location if you haven't selected one already. Okay, it's very important to select the right location. You first have to identify what can you afford. We'd all of us would love to have, the corner spot, the most expensive location on Rodeo Drive, and, pay whatever it is for rent and have a great facility, but realistically speaking, it probably isn't going to happen. Instead, you have to find the best location that your financial forecast says that you can afford. This is very key. You don't find a concept for a space, you find a space for your concept. Understand that. This goes back to furniture, fixtures, and equipment. You do not need to have the best location in the world to be successful. You need to figure out first, where's my optimal location? Not a lot of times you need to be downtown. A lot of businesses need to be in the action, but maybe yours doesn't. So if yours doesn't, that's going to save you a lot of money. So really find out, based with what your business is, what is the best location for it? What is the best, most optimal location for it? And don't look at the most expensive locations at the beginning. You can look at it and you can inquire about it, but I would, say that starting out smaller and growing is much easier and a better move than starting out big and really struggling for the first time. So really find the right location. So you have to determine early on if a specific location, say being downtown, is going to be a real big factor for your business's success. Most businesses generate a lot of volume from local area. So when answering the question, look at your forecast and see where you're generating the most amount of money. This could be in the morning, afternoon, at night, and select a location based on that. And even seasonally, okay, if your business is seasonal, select a location that is going to generate the most amount of business during that season. So figure out what location is best. And there's a number of factors that come into it. You want to make sure that you're set up for parking. If you have deliveries coming in, you have easy delivery access. You have, maybe proximity to competition is important. Maybe you don't want to be too close to the competition. Maybe you want to be right beside the competition just to take them out. Understand what that is. And then you want to figure out, based on location, what is this sort of ease of the adaptability of the space that you're going in that's going to fit your concept. So if you have to tear down the building and redo another one, it's probably not the best location. So find out a building that is going to be very easy for you to just transition into your concept. So maybe it was a restaurant before and now you're transitioning it into another restaurant. It's very easy for you to do because it used to be an operational restaurant. It's going to have a lot of things in there which you're going to need. So you can want curb appeal and visibility from the roadway. Figure out if these are important. A lot of times now businesses are online, so location isn't as important as it once was, but location is always important with certain businesses. So you have to clearly identify which location is best based on those factors. Okay? Now capital improvements. So if you are purchasing a building or you're renting or leasing, you're going to have to do capital improvements unless you're building a whole new building. If you have the money to do so, great. If not, you're going to have capital improvements. So I'm just going to implement these here with some numbers, and I'll kind of talk through and add the notes as I go. Okay, so rents, this is for first and last month's rent. So you want to make sure that you've done that. So it's going to be for first and last month's rent. So you can go over here and you can go to your expense sheet, check your rent, that it's $3,000 a month. So you know that first and last month's is $6,000. Okay, and notes, just put in first and last month's rent. Great. Capital improvements. This could be any number. You have to really do homework here, and this is a good point where if you have, not only should you be selecting a location, but you should be getting in touch with contractors and seeing what sort of dollars you're going to have to spend on making capital improvements on a building. So once you've selected the space, so to speak, then you need to find some contractors to be able to go in there and give you a quote on, how to prepare this space for what you want to do. So this is it again, to prepare the space, furniture, fixtures, and others. This is probably also going to be one of your bigger expenses. Again, try to find used equipment, try to find used furniture and fixtures. You don't have to have a brand new spot to get started. So This could be for front and back of house. When I say front and back of house, again, it's where people see and what people don't see. So I want to make sure that that's set. Legal. This is just to review documents. Simple as that. Review documents for your, the purchase and lease, and review documents for anything else that's going to come down the road. Consulting. I'll add in a consulting fee to help set up your business. And really, it's important, guys, find someone who can help you in the early stages. It's okay. Don't look at $3,000 as a lot of money right now. Look at it in terms of, if you didn't do it properly, how much is this going to cost you? So spend some extra money and get it done properly. Find someone who can help you do it properly. This is a huge, huge stage for you. Website, probably going to, it's probably more than that now, about $2,500. This includes social media, opening inventory, again, depending on your business, but this is generally another decent number. And this is for there's a lot of sort of startup costs I'm showing you, but I'm trying to show you that it's not going to be free to start your business. So if it's an online business, your cost could be a lot lower, or if you're working from home, a lot lower. But if you do need a space, it is going to cost you money. So be prepared for it. And this is just, again, pretty self-explanatory for inventory. And marketing to launch your business. Very important to put marketing dollars. No one knows who you are, so you have to go out and tell everyone who you are. You have to go out and tell everyone who you are. So it's very important to put that money in. And then we can total this up. And working capital. Generally speaking, you want to put some money into working capital. If your startup costs are around $200,000, then do about 10%. So you want to put in about $20,000 for working capital. And this is very important early on. I cannot emphasize this enough. Make some room for working capital, because at the beginning stages you may not be making as much money as you think or as you projected. So be prepared for that. And it's just a bonus where if you don't need it, then that's great. You can put it into getting yourself better equipment or marketing or whatever it is that you want to put that extra amount of money into. So there we have it. So now we have officially finished your financial forecast. So your homework is to really go in and determine and identify all of your startup costs. Identify all of your startup costs. And like I said, if during the time that you've done your forecast, if you want to send it to me for me to review, please do so now. Please do so before you do these startup costs, because this takes a lot of homework. You want to make sure that this is set. This is going to take you some time. So find the right space. Find the right space if you need it. If not, try to find equipment. Try to find the best email marketing tool to use. Try to find the best CRM to use for your business if you're working from home. So really figure out all of your startup costs and be prepared for it, because if you need to ask for money, this is exactly what someone's going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for this section right here early on, startup costs. They're going to be going, what does this person need, and what are they going to be using their money towards? Because they need to be able to say to themselves that, wow, okay, I'm good. I'm set on this business, and we're going to change this from 50,000 to 5,000. Perfect. So this can go down. Let's just make it 10. Great. So this is going to show an investor, this is an itemized startup cost of exactly what the money is going to be allocated towards and how you are going to use it. So they're going to look at that first, and then they're going to go right here, and they're going to go, how does your business make money? And if they can see that your business is profitable and they understand how you get there, they understand how you got to there. It's like reading a story or doing a crossword puzzle. If someone can't get out of the top left quadrant on a crossword puzzle, they're not doing it anymore. But if someone can, they're going to get the kids away, they're going to find a nice cup of coffee, they're going to sit down, they're going to complete it. It's the exact same thing with a business plan. So they're going to look at that, then they're going to look at your costs. They're going to say, can this person pay me back? This person's asking for $139,000. Can he pay me back? Within a year, it looks like they can. So then they make a decision based on you whether that you can execute this plan. So that is why the pitch, that is why having an elevator pitch, that is why having a pitch prepared, understanding this fully is super important, because a business plan is one segment, guys. They want to know whether you can execute this. So figure out your startup costs. We are so close to getting started. Do not rush. Do not rush. Spend some time on this. Make sure that you've hashed down your startup costs and expenses, and you really itemize them. And once you've done that, then you're all set to go. So find a good location if you haven't. Find some contractors. Get some people on your side. Figure out your startup costs. We are this close. We are this close. So look forward to seeing everyone's success. Send me your spreadsheets if you haven't already, and I'd be happy to look at them. So have yourself a great day, guys, and until next time.